quick review of who Portlane are. I think the name would be fairly familiar to some, not everyone. We do communications and data centers. And we got acquired, I work at Glacis, really, and just a hired gun for Portlane at times when they need someone to talk about stuff. We got acquired by Glacis, and who do cloud services, cloud servers, colocation, stuff like that. And this is what it looks like. Some hypertransit type of internet services stuff in Portlane and the cloud stuff in Glacis. This is like 2 years ago, so it's really nothing new, but worth mentioning. So, remote hands. I think most people who in some way are involved in networking, in data centers, in servers, have at some point had to order remote hands, right? So what we do is we send an email to someone at some other site and ask them to do something in a cabinet which they have never touched before. Sounds familiar? We do that quite often with the stuff that we have in other locations in other countries, and we also do it for customers in our locations. We get an email, hey, do this in this cabinet, which we don't know anything about. There's also these intelligent remote hands. I've seen it in marketing stuff at other places. I have no idea what it means, but it implies that regular remote hands isn't intelligent. To be honest, the guy that is doing the remote hands is probably fairly intelligent. At least he can open the door and actually pull the cable inside the cabinet. That's like basics of what you need to do to be able to do it. So we've been thinking a lot about how can we improve the remote hand service. What can we do to make this easier? What can we do to not make this something boring and something that takes a lot of time and something that we don't like to order? So basically what we do is that we send an email to the remote hands department or the engineering department or the support department and tell them like, okay, so connect the blue table to that port and that port on that unit. It might be somewhere up here or it might be down here somewhere. I don't actually know, but obviously my documentation is correct because we're sensible adults, all of us, and we have perfect documentation. And like 9 out of 10 times, yeah, the cable gets put there, the patch gets put there, but how often does it actually work? On the first try, you have to switch to fiber pairs and stuff, and every time there's an email going on. And each email is like 15 minutes. So to do a job that is, what, 5 minutes from getting the email, picking up the patch, going down to the cabinet, and actually pulling the cable, it takes half an hour. And that is half an hour that someone pays for, consultancy fees. I don't know how specified your remote hands invoices are, but most of our invoices that we get one line, remote hands, X hours. Okay, so that's fairly broad. What does that mean? What things have you done inside that? We don't know, we just pay the invoice. There's another fun one. This happened like yesterday. Oh, the IPMI on the server is not reachable. Do whatever it takes to fix it. Yeah, so that server, what does it look like? Where is it located? What customer are you emailing for? And yeah, the customer do. They have perfect documentation, then just don't tell us. They just expect us to know what's inside their cabinet. And I know that you guys don't do that because you're sensible adults and you have perfect documentation, so you don't have to send emails like that. And obviously, that is costing a lot of money for the customer. We have to find the server, we have to kind of figure out why the APMI is not reachable. It often comes down to, yeah, because you have shut down the port inside the switch, just unshut it and it will work for you. I have another example that it's not computer related, but it kind of describes what happens when you try to order remote hands. So, my girlfriend spent 6 months in South America. While she was away, I remodeled the entire apartment. So I took all her stuff, put it down in boxes, didn't tell her. Obviously, she knew we were going to remodel the apartment, but I didn't tell her where I put her stuff. I just put them in boxes and stowed it away so that the carpenters could do their stuff. And I was going to visit her at the end of this 6-month visit, and like a week before I left. Hey, could you please get that green bottle that was on the shelf in the bathroom? The thing is, we redid the entire bathroom, so I don't know where that green bottle is. It's probably in a box somewhere, stowed away, because I haven't packed it up. So it's 6 months since I stowed it away, since I last saw that bottle, and I have to find it before packing to go away for a couple of weeks. And also, oh, could you add these clothes, blah, blah, blah. That's effectively a remote hands request. Could you go fetch that stuff that's in that cabinet that you haven't seen for 6 months? Just pick it up. The thing is that she had 3 green bottles in that. Which one am I going to use? It was 6 months since I last met her. So there's a lot of pressure building up. And this was South America, so there was no, oh, you picked the wrong bottle. You have to go back and pick it up. I had to make sure that I got the right bottle from the start. So I was thinking a lot, okay, so how am I going to solve this? We were different time zone. We have to do this really quick, and I was super tired. She worked, I worked. She got home when it was in the middle of the night in Sweden. So, okay, how are we going to fix this in the easiest way? I don't want to get mad. I don't want her to get mad. I just want this done. I called her on Skype and actually used the camera mode. So which bottle is it? These are the three bottles you can choose from. I gave her a visual of this is what you're going to have to look at. You have to look at this and you have to make a decision. Which bottle do you want? And yeah, I got the right bottle. She didn't hate me. We're still together. And yeah, sometimes you can say, hey, can you pull this cable from this unit to this unit? It looks like, yeah, well, the units are in the cabinet, but they're not placed where you say they are. So the request is actually sane and correct, but the documentation is not correct, which doesn't make sense because, yeah, we all have perfect documentation, or not. So before this meeting, we got a request, hey, you want to come talk about something? I said, yeah, we can talk about something. I'm not a networking guy, so obviously I'm not going to talk about networking with you guys. That wouldn't make sense, and would most probably be embarrassing for me. So, okay, remote hands. We do it a lot. I think that most of you actually can relate to this topic. And this is actually an idea and proposal that we're going to do, or maybe a challenge. You can take it as you want. And yeah, in my opinion, the state of remote hand services as they are today is pretty sad. It doesn't make any sense to send an email, go do something, send an email back, go correct what you did because you did it wrong the first time. There must be a better way. It's 2017. We have the ability to stream a lot of stuff. Have you watched Twitch? Have you watched the things that I actually stream on Twitch? That we can stream a lot of other stuff that would actually make sense that would save us all time and money. So we recently been doing some changes in our organization. We started to work with, like, in software development, we're starting doing a lot of pairing. So we program in pairs. So I thought, why can't we do remote hands in pairs? Why can't we sit 2 guys with some kind of connection to the other guy on the other end, which are actually the hands, look at what he is looking at, and actually guide him doing that? In that way, we can make sure that we actually put the right cable in the right position, in the right unit. It gets neatly done, and we can, in real time, actually check the switches and routers and units that we are actually connecting, that it is correct. So maybe we can cut off the time that it takes to do a remote hands thing in like 10 minutes instead of 45. Maybe your time doesn't matter, but my time matters, and our customers' time matters. So if we can fix the request for the customer in 10 minutes instead of 45, I think everyone is happy. So obviously, we're going to have 2 people involved in this. We're going to have a driver, meaning the guy that is on site in the data center or the location that is actually going to do the work. And we're going to have the navigator guy, which will probably be you, requesting the remote hands, and you actually have to be with him while he is doing it. So what is going to happen is, okay, hey, I want to set up a remote hands session. Can you connect to something? Can we connect to Skype? Can you bring your phone? Can you mount a GoPro camera on your helmet? Doesn't actually matter how we do it. And can we in some way work together to get this done? We have the idea or the vision is that in some way we can do the remote hand sync together as a team. I can look at what the guy in the data center are doing. I can guide him. I can say, okay, you're going to connect that red cable to port 12 in the unit that is in slot 12, or something like that. And then you're going to pull it nice and neatly in the side of the rack down to a lower slot and connect it to another port. And while you do that, I can connect to the unit and make sure that you actually connect to the correct port and that we get the services up and running. We're going to get a lot of less emails. We don't have to go back and forth. We will get instant feedback on what we are doing. Yeah, we are connecting stuff. And hopefully, we're going to get higher feedback on what we are doing, a higher quality, on what we're doing. We're going to get it quicker, and we're going to make sure that it is correct, because you're sitting at your computer and you can update your documentation accordingly to the changes that you're doing live with the person on the site. Probably. Yes, it's going to take more man hours. Yes, it's probably going to be more. It's going to be more tedious because you just can't just send an email to the guy, hey, do this. You actually have to be present while he's doing it. On the other hand, if you're asking someone to help you with something, the least thing you can do is actually show up and help them do it, or at least give them correct instructions on how to do it. And since we're getting higher quality out of it, it's probably going to get cheaper in the long run. And the fun part, and a really nice one, is that since we're going to have a log on how long that session is going to be, say that it's a phone call or a video conference thing or a Skype session, we could actually have some kind of taxameter thing where you can pay by minute for that service. So if you get work done correctly in 12 minutes, you pay for 12 minutes. Not very inaccurate, hey, you pay, here's an hour for remote hands. I worked for 15 minutes, I took a photo of the cabinet, and then I went back to my desk and emailed for you to it, and you paid 200 euros for that. You could actually pay by minute. Maybe you can have some kind of, startup fee or something. I don't know. I don't have any answers to technology. This can probably be done using your cell phone, or you can connect your GoPro to a laptop and stream it on Skype, or something else. There's a whole lot of things we can do to make this work. Portlane doesn't have that. We don't have that technology. We actually haven't tried this, but it's an interesting idea on how we can actually evolve that range of stuff that we're doing that is probably both time-consuming and boring for you, and it's fairly time-consuming for us. And we all know that doing the same work over again because it wasn't right the first time, or because the instructions was wrong the first time, that doesn't make any sense, and it's kind of mind-numbing. Portlane is up for trying this. If anyone else is open to try it, I dare you to. Try it. Try something similar. Try to see if there's a better way of doing this. And if you try it, please get back to us, because I think this can be pretty interesting and do something else. And maybe we can actually deliver some more value to our customers that are buying the remote hand services. I'm running a little early. That's okay. So that's what I have. And any questions, ideas, answers, feedback? Nope. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Andrea.